Hey, folks, what is going on? What is going on? I got some good news I want to share with you guys real quick before we get started with the topic I want to speak to you guys about today. This is a topic I would have covered last night on our Monday Motivational Power Talk, but I was not able to because I had a lot of things I was working on. So, with that being said, I always try to make it up the following day or Wednesday or whenever that week ends if I'm not able to do it on that Monday night. So thank you guys for stopping through. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I do want to talk about quitting is no excuse for quitting, right? Hold on. I got people trying to view, so I to make sure they're good in viewing. So hope you guys are doing great. Good to see my uncle, man. What's up, Unc? Uncle Roy Lee Pittman. Hey, Unc, man, I'm glad you're here because I'm getting ready to talk about something on this video. I'm getting ready. What I'm gonna talk about, no excuse for quitting, but I'm going to use some examples of last night's football game against with my Washington football team against your Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm not gonna go hard on you. Unc. I ain't gonna go hard on you, but I do just want to talk about um, Alex Smith. I do want to talk about him in regards to the topic, though. So I hope you guys are coming in. Let's get started, folks. If it's going to be, it's up to me to fulfill my dreams and possibilities with dedication and motivation to inspire thousands from all nations. When times are tough and breaks you down, just smile with toughness and rebuild from the ground. During tough times, adversity is a lot. Just remember, time flies, but you are the pilot. Good afternoon, folks. Give you a little bit more light here so you guys can see me good. Thank you for stopping in. I'm Jay Hunter Lee. Want to talk about a good topic, man. There's no excuse for quitting. No excuse for quitting. I want to talk about that real fast and give you a life story that most of you have seen, right? So, hope you guys are doing great. So, I want to talk first before we get into our topic. I want to talk to you guys, let you a little bit of good news I have. I was on the phone earlier with a gentleman. His name is Mr. Ramsey Dardar. I'm gonna tell you guys who Mr. Ramsey Dardar is. My uncle Roy Lee Pittman. I'm pretty sure Unc knows who Ramsey Dardar is. He was a former NFL player for the Arizona Cardinals back in the 80s, back when John Riggins was with the Redskins. Um, he had a story. He had an amazing story that he had to overcome. And I'm going to have him live at some point to talk about his story, talk about what he went through and, how he persevered, got involved, got in the NFL. He came out of LSU down in Louisiana. So got into the NFL and it made his life work for him. So I'm going to talk about that. Want to say hey to Chris Lee. How you doing, Chris Lee? We got the same last name, but no relation, at least that I know of. But always a pleasure to have you, Chris Lee. Thank you for stopping through. Haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing well. But folks, I do want to talk about there's no excuse for quitting. A lot of people they quit on their goals, dreams, and aspirations for what? I'm gonna tell you why they quit on them. They quit on their goals and dreams and aspirations because they got something stuck in their head that they can't shy away from. And that's the big H word. What is the big H word? No, it's not hate. The big H word that prevents most people from conquering their fears, conquering conquering their troubles and achieving their goals in life is because of the big H word, which is the H word of how. Most people get stuck on how am I going to achieve this? Let me tell you why people do this, folks. The reason why most people get stuck on how or wondering how they're going to accomplish something is because when they tell somebody else their goals and their dreams, those people always ask them, how are you going to do that? How you think you're going to go about that? You see, you got to understand, folks, that how always coming from another person is always designed to downplay you, designed to knock you off to take you away from your goals and your dreams and your focus. How you think you're going to do that? You can't even do this. How you think you're going to do that? When I first moved to Florida 6 years ago, I was homeless. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And when I say homeless, folks, I'm literally saying homeless. I had lost my last job at a law firm the day after my mom passed away. And I could not find another IT job to save myself from being evicted, to even make my rent payments. I was behind rent by a lot. And I said, you know what? Maybe it's just time for me to follow my dreams and move down to Tampa, Florida. I've always, I came here 6 years ago. That's 2014. I've had the goals and dreams to move to Tampa, Florida since 2006. So that was a long time. That was like 8 years for me to focus on, wanting to move down to Tampa, Florida. So when that opportunity came, couldn't find a job. My book had just got published 2013. And after my book was published 2 months later, I get an eviction order from my landlord at the time. I was living up in Oak Park Apartments. And there I was, getting ready to be evicted. I've had family members who have talked out of my presence, okay? And they were saying, he moving where? He couldn't even pay his rent. How, there's the how word, how he think he gonna go and up and just move to Florida? You see? Bruno Mars said, don't believe me, just watch. And I just tell people, don't worry about it. How? And I'm going to tell you, don't worry about how. Because how is why people get stuck. How is why a lot of businesses fold. How is why a lot of people don't even get off their butt and get their dreams working for them. How is the big reason the richest, the wealthiest place in the world is at the graveyard? Because of how. Because a lot of people at the graveyard dead. That's where you'll find books never written, dreams never fulfilled, inventions never invented, right? Poems never cited, products never produced, because people lived in a world of how. There's a poem, I always quote this poem. I love this poem. I've been quoting it for the past almost 10 years. It goes, he slept beneath the moon and basked beneath the sun. He lived a life of going to do and died with nothing done. So many people, is he a procrastinator? Yeah, most likely he's a procrastinator. But why is he a procrastinator, folks? He's a procrastinator because he's stuck on the big H word. He's stuck on how. How is he going to achieve his goals? How is he going to make the first step? What is the first step? But let me tell you something, folks. The first step is commitment. You have to have a full commitment on what you want to accomplish in your life. How is none of your business, folks. How, let me say that again. How is none of your business? That is God's business. God's focus is on your how. You focus on the commitment, because the how is not going to show up. The universe is not going to show you the how until you show the universe that you're fully committed into your goal, into your goals, dreams, and aspirations. You have to have a full commitment, folks. What is the definition of commitment? The definition is doing what you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you. Definition of commitment. So if you show the universe that you're fully committed, folks, the universe will show you the how. It will show you so many different ways of how you're going to go about it, because how is none of your business. That's the universe. That's God's business. Have you ever had a focus or mindset that you want to achieve something and you really started sticking to it? Then all of a sudden you go to an event and you meet somebody who can take you to that next step and get into where you want to go in your business. or in your personal life? Have you ever had that happen to you? You ever say, oh my God, I was just saying that this is what I needed for my business. I was just saying that this is what I needed for my child. I was just saying that I needed this for my mom, or whatever it is that you want to do. Have you ever had that? You know why that happened, folks? That happened because you showed the universe that you are fully committed to what it is that you want. And the universe is showing you avenues, it's showing you ways, it's showing you people that you need to connect to in order for you to get there. I want to share with you a story about a young man who refused to quit. His name is Alex Smith. Many of you know him because he's the quarterback for the Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins. In 2018, he literally broke his leg on the field. Broke his leg. When I say it broke his leg, I'm not talking about like a fracture. I'm talking about a break. His leg was broken so bad, the lower part of his leg was flappy. The bone was not even there to support the leg anymore. It was flapping like that. Literally broke his leg, folks. He went under 17 surgeries. He almost had his leg amputated. They were having discussions of amputating his leg. Him and his wife told them, do not amputate my leg. They say he almost lost his life. They did a documentary on him called Project 11. 11 is his number on his jersey. Project 11. He had been out of football for a year and a half. Guess what he said before they even completed the surgeries? He said, I am going to play football again. All the NFL analysts, and I'm pretty sure his family members, thought he was insane. He said, I am going to play football again. This is the year he came back. He first got on the field when he played against the Rams this year. He was rusty. His timing was off. He looked horrible. He didn't give up. He played another game before he was able to get into the game for to be the full starter. He became the full starter, folks. He just won three games in a row. He beat the Cincinnati Bengals, the Dallas Cowboys, and then he just beat the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, who was 11-0. They're now 11-1 because Alex Smith played a superb game. He's a game manager. He doesn't need to be a flashy quarterback. He's a game manager. That's why he's the starter. And let me tell you something, folks. If Alex Smith would have given up, if he would have quitted, he probably would have had his leg amputated. They saved his leg. He said he was determined not to have his leg amputated. He was determined not to lose his life because they say he nearly lost his life. He was determined that he would jump back on the football field and be an effective quarterback. And that's exactly what he did, folks. That's having balls in your drawers. He didn't quit. This is why quitting is no excuse. It's no excuse for quitting, folks. If he were able to accomplish what he accomplished, folks, nearly lost his leg, nearly lost his life, and just had a full commitment to get him back on that football field. And in the process of his in his therapy, in his habilitation, in the process of that, he opted to go to the veterans therapy centers so that he can get his treatment with veterans who have lost their legs and limbs through the war. He opted to do that. Why did he do that, folks? He did it for inspiration. He did it because he knew that if he was going to have inspiration, it would keep his goals and his dreams alive of getting back on that football field. He was inspired. He wanted to be around people that he saw as heroes who went out and saved and fought for this country, lost their limbs and going through therapy. He wanted to go through it with them. That is inspiration, folks. That is not quitting. That is not giving up. He didn't quit. And he just beat, last night, he just beat the top team in the NFL in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Folks, not only that story amazed me about him, and I highly recommend you guys look it up on YouTube or whatever. It's called Project 11. I'm sharing this story with you not to impress you, because it is impressive. It touched me. I'm amazed by Alex Smith, but more so, I'm amazed by his tenacity and his mindset. And I'm sharing this with you, and I'm telling you this because if he can overcome the adversity of nearly losing his leg and losing his life, and instead return to the football field, just won 3 straight games. If he can accomplish that with what he went through, folks, what do you and I have to complain about? We're all on one of 3 things. We just got out of trouble. We're in it right now, or we're going into it. I don't care how good of a person you are. You're going to face adversity no matter how good you are. Adversity, folks, negativity is just like gravity. I don't care how good of a person you are. If you walk off the top of a building, you're going to hit the ground, regardless of how good of a person you are. You're going to face adversity, folks. See, the biggest problem people have is thinking they're not supposed to have them. You are going to have problems. Whatever goal you create, obstacles are also created, folks. Everything is not peaches and cream. Everything is not going to come to you on a silver platter. Everything is not going to be breakfast in bed. You have to focus on the word Goya, Goya. Goya. What is Goya? Get off your ass. This man nearly lost his leg and his life. Come back a year and a half later for the Washington football team, 3 straight games, including one which was the best team in the NFL, which was the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were 11-0. He gave them their first defeat in this season. And just think, this man nearly lost his life and his leg, a year and a half ago. Underwent 17 surgeries. And why did he have to go through so much surgery? Because when they thought they was finished the surgery and letting him heal, infection got into the area where he broke his leg. So they had to do more surgery. The man is amazing. Folks, let me say something to you, man. I've had my share of adversities. I've had people lie on me. I've had people, lie on me to the point where they nearly took my life. But I'm a hard-nosed fighter. I'm ruthless. My job in my life is to accomplish my goals and battle the troubles that stand in the way. You think it's going to be easy for you? You think your life is going to be peaches and cream? You might not have the fight that I had to fight. You might not have the fight that Alex Smith had to fight, but you're going to have to fight. And you're going to have the choice. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said it perfectly. He said, there are many choices in life, but there are only two choices that we must face every day when we wake up. One, accept. One choice is the two options we cannot escape every day. One, accept circumstances as they are, or two, do something about it. You're not going to escape those choices, folks. So I'm sharing this with you, folks, because Les Brown said it perfectly. He said life is a fight for territory. When you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want automatically shows up by default. I mean, think about that. This man, Alex Smith, nearly lost his leg or nearly lost his life. He persevered. He never gave up. A year and a half later, starting quarterback of the Washington football team again, and just won 3 straight games. What do you have to bitch and moan about? Because you have a little bit of trouble. You have a little bit of little people on your job who's trying to keep you from soaring. Can't nothing stop an eagle from soaring. Eagles soar against gravity. And if you have an eagle's mindset, you should soar too, against all odds. An eagle soars against all odds, folks. You got to make the choice. You got to make a difference. You got to make a choice in your life. You say iron sharpens iron. If that's true, then why the hell are you hanging around with butter knives? If you want to soar like an eagle, why the hell are you running around here with pigeons? Quitting, folks, is not an option. There's no excuse for quitting. None. That's why most people quit. Because their excuses are greater than the goals that they set for themselves. You guys get that? I'm going to say that part again. Most people quit because their excuses are overstep the goals that they set for themselves. That's why people quit. Because they focus on how. Oh man, how am I going to go about it? Never mind how you're going to go about it. If you commit to it, the house is going to show up. That's period. Point blank, folks. That's the only way you're going to get it. I persevered. Alex Smith persevered. Mike Tyson persevered. Did you know he was over 100 pounds before he fought Roy Jones? He put his body through tremendous amount of brutal regiments to get himself down to 220 pounds and look solid, in shape, look good, 54 years old. You know what he endured? Do you know what he had to go through? He had to pay let me tell you what he did. He said he had to pay people to spar him. He paid sparring partners to beat the hell out of him in sparring. He said, if he kicked your ass in sparring, you're fired. He paid people to whoop his ass in the gym. How are you going to beat a man with that mentality? That's not the Mike Tyson. If Mike Tyson had that mentality before he retired, he probably would be undefeated right now. He probably would have retired undefeated. How do you beat a man like that? How do you beat a man? How do you run faster than a man named Usain Bolt? They interviewed him and said, who is your competition, Usain Bolt? He said, speed is my competition. How do you beat a man like that? How? Don King said, success is being on fire and let the world come watch you burn. Woo! Y'all running around here patting, giving out pity parties. You know what they did to me? My boss don't like me. They're trying to fire me because they don't like me. The professor ain't give me the grade I'm supposed to get because we had an argument last week. They know I'm good. They hating. They ain't trying to give me my opportunity. This bitch in the morning. Taking yourself further and further and further away from your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Because it's easier to bitch about it. Being hard nosed, being a bull and attacking it requires more work. So it's easier to whine. And I can't stand to see a grown ass man whining. See, folks, that's the result of too many beta males out here. And you ladies need to stop dating them. Stop dating them. Some of this falls on y'all. Stop taking care of these beta. Stop allowing these dudes come live in your house. Now, I'm not talking about because of circumstances, something happened to him, he lost his job, he hit bottom. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that's coming to living in your shit and parlaying around in your shit, playing and then you go buy him a PlayStation tomorrow. I bought my boo a PlayStation. Really? It's a grown ass man. The hell you buying him a PlayStation for? Buy him some work boots and push his ass out the door. The problem is, folks, you women are attracted to betas. You don't want nothing to do with alpha males anymore. Because we're not yes men. We lead. We don't tuck our tools underneath our ass. If it hang, it hang. That's alpha. Hard nose. No nonsense. Boots to asses. But you ladies don't date them anymore. You want betas. You want betas. The guy that drives around in your car while you at work and don't even put no gas in it. Going seeing all his boys. They smoking weed in your car. Picking up women in your car. Burning up mileage, burning up gas. See, that's who y'all like. That's who y'all like. You can't stand it, an alpha male. You're talking about you want good men. You can't take a good man. You can't take a good man. You won't even attract a good man, a strong man, a man with balls in his drawers. You won't even attract them because you're so accustomed to feminine ass dudes. That's your fault. So that's the point, folks. That's the point I'm making. People you want in your life who are quitters. How many of you got a man and willing to admit it, got a man with you right now that says he wanted to do all these things and ain't did shit? Just quitting. As if you forgot that he said he wanted to do these things. And if you ask him what happened, when are you going to do this? He said, oh, and one of the first words that's coming out of his mouth is the how word, the H word. How? I don't know how to go about it. I don't know how to go about it. Really? If you don't know how to go about it, then how come you haven't been trying to find out how to go about it? See, that's where the commitment comes in there. You commit to finding out how you're going to go about it. Because if you commit to it, the hows will show up. That's by universal law. That's by default, folks. That's by default. That's law. That's God's law. That's the universe. Those are one of the universal laws of the universe. The law of attraction, the law of vibration. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all ain't hear me. We've been on here 30 minutes, folks. That's all I'm going to give you guys today. Whoo! I hope you guys get it. I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful to you, just put that in the comments and say, thank you, this was helpful. And share the video if you will. Share the video. If it wasn't helpful for you, it's okay. It's not for everybody. But if you get it, share it. And if you don't get it, share it anyway, because there's somebody on your friends list that would get it and they would need it. So with that being said, sing like no one can hear you. Dance like no one can see you. Love like you've never been hurt. And live like it's heaven on earth. I'm Jay Hunter Lee. I love you and the world needs you. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.